All right, let's have a look at miners. Hope you guys all having a good weekend. So last week, the biggest headline was Ethereum spot ETF was approved by SEC, and Ether was up 21% last week. So monthly gains 18%, year over year 107%. So you can see BTC weekly, monthly, year over year. We have looked at this name. I mean, these two biggest coins are so far still momentum to the upside. They're still positive. Market capitalization pretty large, getting bigger. 1.3 trillion for Bitcoin and 446 billion for Ether. So what I'm watching for Riot, Cleanspark, and we can take a look at the Coinbase, MicroStrategy as well. So let's jump into the let's have a look at Riot platforms. So this is one of the stocks in crypto mining that is struggling. So far I am still neutral on this name because it can catch a bit, but at the same time it is not bullish right here right now. It can flush down definitely to single digit numbers, but so far this $10 level is acting some sort of a floor maybe, but that's a pivotal level for Riot platforms, this $10 level. Ideally for this stock to push higher, you want it to make a higher high, basically go push higher, maybe break out of 12, go to 14, come back 12 to test the 12, and then try to push towards these yearly highs, recent highs, maybe 52-week highs of $18. So that's what I'm watching for Riot platforms. So what about the Cleanspark, CLSK? So it is in a consolidation mode, better looking chart so far. You can see it did just like we were talking about last time. Break out of this trend, back tested it, and now will it push towards 21 and then chop around here and then push towards 24, 25, the next level of resistance. So far, yes, it can break down as well, but you can see at the moment, well, 20-day, this blue line right here that is horizontally just going like this is 20-day moving average. So as long as it stays above it, I'm going to be watching it neutral to bullish. 5-day SMA, this gray line right here, is in an uptrend, but stock is below it. You want this name to get back above these recent levels, basically 1850, in order to push higher, or it can just fall into this chop mode and chop. So but I'm not bearish Cleanspark until it fails $14.50, which has been acting as a floor, as a pivotal level for quite some time now. So 4 or 5 months or so. But it could be a giant head and shoulders, how we want to look at it, and it can definitely break down. But so far, I'm watching neutral to bullish right here, right now. So now let's have a look at Marathon Digital. So this name, well, rejected 3 days in a row. This 2277, which I was watching from these levels, where it had earnings, pulled back, acted as a resistance at these levels, now acted as a resistance here. So that level is pretty pivotal. So ideally you want to see Marathon Digital clean out this $23 level in order to push to $24.50, and possibly it has a room all the way to test its near highs of 34, but I would draw maybe a resistance trend line, something like this, and I would watch that level as a resistance as well. So if we have summer sort of a melt up in small cap land, I'm going to be expecting Marathon Digital maybe push all the way to these levels, 35, 30, depends, I guess, or how you're going to when you think that this could happen. So if we switch to weekly chart, maybe somewhere around July, but right here, right now, even if you take a look at it on a weekly, it is sort of forming this bottom, where on a weekly you can see well, momentum right here, right now, ultra short term, maybe like 4, 5, 6 weeks or so. It is making higher highs, higher lows, and it has some sort of a uptrending channel for Marathon Digital. So I'm watching this name more bullish, because as long as it stays above $20 levels and builds around these 23 levels, it can have a really good move to all the way, maybe. So first level of resistance 24.77, then 27.80ish. So that's the highest weekly close so far for the last year or so. So 27.86, basically 28, give or take. If it closes around that level, very likely it can push towards the $34-35 levels. But I will be bearish only if it slips below 16. So far that level has been acting as a solid support. So every time it goes to these $16 levels, or it has gone to these levels, it was absorbed and option flow all the time. I was looking at most actively traded basically for the last week. Throughout the week, it was highly traded in terms of like calls. Even on Friday, 70% of the volume out of 322,000 contracts that came in, 70% of the options were calls traded, 29%, 30% was puts traded. So these are the levels for Marathon. And Coinbase. Well, Coinbase is basically coiling up to possibly, if you switch to daily move, you can see as soon as it breaks 240, I'm going to be quick with these ones. So it can push towards 260 resistance, 280. 280 is the next level of resistance. But if it does break that level, well, is it probable that it can push maybe all the way to above 300, maybe go to 350? Very possible. Now let's take a look at MSTR, what I'm watching for this name. Well, could act as a, well, let me switch to daily chart. So far it is struggling with this 1750, and then if it does break that level, I'll be watching this all, basically 52-week highs of almost 2,000. But so far it could just chop above this 50-day moving average. This stock has a very large range, so you gotta be careful if you're trading options. It has very large spreads as well, so not that liquid as you would trade Coinbase or Mara or other crypto miners. So definitely can push towards this and maybe reject, maybe form some sort of a double top, but we'll see. BTC is the main thing to watch as well. If it does break 74k, all those things that we mentioned to the upside may happen. So that's the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next update.